Ever since I saw the first promo for this fragrance, I knew I wanted it. However, since then I have seen some mixed reviews on it and it made me a bit scared, but I decided to just go ahead and order it blindly because I knew that if I didn't and I never got a chance to smell it, I would just keep thinking about it and thinking about it. So here we are talking about Tom Ford Bitter Peach. So this video was part of my Love, Like, or Let Down series. If you've never seen any video from this series, it's basically where I take a sniff of a fragrance. For my very first sniff, I share it with you guys on camera, and then I come back a few days later and kind of give you my thoughts on it at that point. So it's kind of like a first impressions, but to me, it's a little bit better than that because you kind of get my thoughts after a few days of wearing it. If you are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Ayesha. Please make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you like to see videos about beauty, fragrance, luxury, and lifestyle. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's get into these first impressions of Bitter Peach. So I just got this fragrance in the mail. I have been super excited to try it out. It took forever to get to me, but here we are. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so obviously I won't be able to wear it for too long today, but I did go ahead and clean off all the perfume I was wearing. I knew I was getting it today, so I didn't spray the other perfume on my clothes or anything. I just had to clean it off my skin. So I am fragrance free at this point so that I can properly test this on the very first day. So let's open the package. So just like all the other Tom Ford private blends, it comes in this cardboard box. However, this one is orange. It's part of their like higher end line of private blend, which is kind of a joke to me, but I love the box. So let's open it up and look at this gorgeous bottle. It is so beautiful. So it looks very similar to the Lost Cherry bottle if you've seen that one before, except this one is orange. Other than that, they look the same. So, moment of truth. Of course, I can't smell anything. What's interesting is this does have a red atomizer. I didn't notice that in the promos, but let's go. I'm gonna test it on here first and then I'm gonna spray it on my skin. Okay, so I definitely smell like peach gummy rings. Yeah, peach gummy rings so far. I'm not really getting anything else at this very moment. It does smell good. It smells sweet. It also smells like a little bit powdery. Not what I was expecting. Definitely very like peach candy. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on my skin and see if we get any difference. Okay, so on my skin, it does smell a little bit different. It smells like, I can definitely smell the peach gummy rings, but I also smell something green in there. Maybe something floral as well. But still, peach gummy rings is what dominates this scent so far. So I'm gonna let it kind of dry down and I'll be back in a few minutes, probably about 5 minutes or so, and see if it's changed up since then. So it's been about 5 minutes of me wearing Bitter Peach, and I have to say, it still smells the same as when I first sprayed it. So let me just tell you my initial, very first thoughts on it. Of course, I've been wearing it for 5 minutes, so please stay tuned for the rest of this video so you can really hear what I think about it. But so far, I like it. I do think it is different than what I expected. To me, most Tom Ford scents to me smell very unisex, even borderline masculine. And on my skin, this smells very feminine. So that kind of surprised me. Like, I knew I would smell peach, but I expected it to be like peach mixed with something like really deep, dark, and sexy, because that's kind of what Tom Ford is known for. But to me, this smells very like light and feminine. I do really like it though. It's just not what I expected. So this is why I don't like doing like just one sniff first impression for you guys, because I feel like it's not really a true, impression of it, if that makes sense. So I like to wear it before I kind of tell you guys what I think of it. But so far so good. I do like it. Right now it's not necessarily a love for me, but it does smell really good. It smells juicy and like candy and sweet. And I like peach. If you don't like peach, don't get this. Do not get this. I know it's called bitter peach, but honestly, it smells very sweet to me. Now, I'm sure this is different on, you know, fragrance varies on other people's skin. I've heard a lot of people say it smells bitter on them. That is not the case on my skin. My skin, it smells like sweet, like peach gummy rings. So for me right now, this is a like. I am going to continue wearing this for the next few days, and then I'll come back and we will find out if this is a love, a like, or a letdown. So make sure you stay tuned. So I'm back, and it's actually only been 1 day since I filmed the first part of this video. Typically I do wait about 3 days, but for this fragrance, honestly, I wore it when I first got it. I wore it overnight, and then I wore it today, and I have my full-on thoughts of it. So let's get into it. So first, let's just quickly talk about the notes. So for the top notes, you have peach and blood orange. For the mid, you have Davana oil or rum-infused Davana oil. And then for the base, you have patchouli, and that's according to Tom Ford's website. Now, I'm sure there are other notes in there, and Fragrantica lists different notes as well, but I just wanted to give y'all what Tom Ford says is in there. So to me, on my skin, like I said earlier, this smells like those juicy, like peachy gummy rings. So like a very juicy, ripe peach, but the candy version, like the syrupy, sweet, ultra sweet version. So if you don't like sweet scents, you will not like this. This is ultra sweet. I can definitely smell the Davana because I think that's what's giving us that green kind of floral touch to it. So I definitely smell that as well. And as far as the patchouli on my skin, I really do not get it, which in my opinion is that's a bit of a disappointment. I watched Sebastian from Smelly Great Fragrance Reviews. I'm sure all of y'all know who he is, but he mentioned that this smelled like a peach version of Angel. I love Angel. I know a lot of people don't love Angel, but I personally love Angel. And to me, on my skin, I just don't get that at all. Like I basically get no patchouli. I mean, I guess I could smell it kind of lurking very deep in the background, but I was hoping this would be a more patchouli forward fragrance because I like patchouli. So at dry down on my skin, this smells exactly the same as when I first sprayed it. Well, take that back. When you first spray it, it is very kind of like strong and very juicy peach. At the dry down, which I would say probably in about 30 minutes to an hour, it does kind of mellow out a little bit. So you're still getting that juicy peach, but it's just not as like in your face pow, in my opinion. But to me, overall, it pretty much smells the same at dry down. I don't find that it changes on my skin very much. As far as longevity on my skin, I got about 4 hours of decent projection. So when I say decent projection, if somebody's sitting next to me, they could smell it on me. But walking past people, I didn't get any compliments or anything like that. I don't always get compliments, so it's not like a deal breaker for me, but I don't think this fragrance projects that well. That's not a deal breaker for me. Sometimes I like my personal scents. This is more than like a skin scent, but it's not gonna be like big compliment getter, like people smell you from miles away. So as far as uniqueness goes, I do think that this is somewhat unique. I've never smelled a fragrance exactly like this. I know I've heard comparisons of this to Parfums de Marly Cassili, and I don't think they smell alike. I do own Cassili, and I can see how people say, you know, the peach is similar in them, but Parfums de Marly is a lot more like elegant. It's more floral. It's more, I don't know, just like softer and more well blended, whereas Tom Ford is more of like a juicy peach, candy-like peach, in my opinion. So as far as where you would wear this fragrance or what occasion this would best fit, I feel like this is more of a casual fragrance just because it's so like juicy peachy. I couldn't really see myself wearing this out on a date night. It doesn't give me like sexy vibes. This is more like an everyday type scent. But we need everyday type scents, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just don't think that this is date night, which is honestly a bit surprising because most of Tom Ford scents are like perfect for date night. They are some of my go-tos. Next, let's talk about if this is worth the price. So this fragrance retails for $350 for 1.7 ounces. I did not pay for it. A lovely subscriber and fellow YouTuber actually gave me her friends and family discount for Sephora. So I don't want to mention her name because I don't know if she wants me to, but if you are watching, thank you so much. That was very sweet, and I was super excited to try this fragrance out. So thank you. But she gave me her discount code, and so I was able to get this for 20% off. So still very expensive, but not $350. So let's talk about, is it worth it $350? I always feel kind of funny when I talk about if something is worth it, because I can't determine, you know, what's worth it for you. Basically, it's just if it's worth it for me. So for me, it's not worth $350. I just think that it just doesn't do enough for me that it will be worth $350. That does not mean it's not a good fragrance. It just means that for me, it's not worth $350. That is a lot of money for me for a fragrance. So lastly, let's get to the bottom line. Is this a love? Is it a like? Or is it a letdown? And I have to say, this is my very first letdown on this channel. I'm so sad. I was so excited about trying Bitter Peach, and it's not like it's a bad fragrance, but I'm actually going to return this fragrance. I don't do that very often, but I just feel like it was not worth my money. And I'm just super disappointed because I love Tom Ford. Y'all know Tom Ford is like my favorite fragrance brand. I think I should probably do another Tom Ford like house overview of what I own now, because it has changed since my last one. So let me know if y'all want to see that. But I love Tom Ford for the striking, strong, sexy fragrances, and even some of like the lighter fragrances like Soleil Blanc. I love that too. So I just feel like this doesn't line up with Tom Ford for me. I know people were saying that this is like the peach version of Lost Cherry. Not at all. I love Lost Cherry. Lost Cherry is extremely like sexy to me, even though it's not like a beast mode fragrance. I love Lost Cherry. This is just juicy peachy rings, and I like it, but if I paid like $80 for it, to $80 to $100, I wouldn't be disappointed. I would probably keep it. But for the price that I paid, it was a letdown, and so I felt like I needed to share that with y'all, because y'all know I love Tom Ford. So I really wanted to get this out to you guys before I return the fragrance. And yeah, it's my first letdown on this channel. I'm very, very disappointed. I'm not done with Tom Ford yet though, don't get me wrong, but I don't love this one. I don't even really seriously like this one. It's just all right. So let me know if you guys have tried this fragrance. If you have, leave your thoughts down below. I have to say this in every Tom Ford video, but I know there's some Tom Ford haters out there, so please don't comment if you're just commenting because you don't like Tom Ford. Comment if you've actually smelled the fragrance and you don't like it because of that. Please don't get into the company overall. Just saying. So yeah, let us know down below if you've tried the fragrance, what you think about it. Especially if you do find that your experience is different than mine, please let us know, because I feel like, I don't know, my thoughts on it don't really line up with all the other reviews I've been seeing. So it may just be the way it reacts with my skin. So for me, it's a letdown. That does not mean that it would be for you. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was not the most positive one. And please make sure you thumbs it up. Please make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see like another like Tom Ford collection video from me, let me know and I'll definitely do that. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.